spastically infatuated with the in-between. The ups, the downs, the curves and the rounds. I'll bring it to your city or your hometown. I'll go back in time when the feeling was fine. When funkin' was legal and it wasn't a crime. Party people lined up and down the way. A bigger celebration than your birthday. Funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt the fool cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood. Funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt the fool cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood. And I have seen the world pristine, funk you up in the bushes, funk you down in the trees. Now look around, all the frowns, the yellow, the white, the red and the brown. And keep in mind, it never costs a dime, cause funkin' is free, I remember the time. Now look today, the streets are gray, time to take it back to yesterday. Funkin' in the neighborhood, I felt the fool cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood, funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt the fool cause the funkin' was good. It was good in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood. Funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt full cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood. Funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt full cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood. Funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt full cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood. Funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt full cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood.
And we're live.
And we're back. Wait, how long were we live before we figured out that?
I didn't do the countdown. We came on live just now.
Oh, just now. Oh, so it worked. All right, so we want to do the countdown
close.
thing because otherwise we're off our game.
Well, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're live.
And we're back.
Welcome to the Underdog Journey, where we almost know where we are when we're there. I'm Wes. This guy is David, and Devin Ross is already in the comments. He says
we were on like 8 seconds.
it's fine. It's, you know what, we were close,
Yeah,
and that's what we aim for. Just good enough.
just good enough. I mean, that's I mean, really.
Speaking of which, I don't have my headphones, so I might yell a little bit.
Yeah,
and I'm going to try to hear you.
Fine over here.
Great.
Yeah. So let's see here.
So, David,
So
we're in the Hopper House Columbus.
the Oofbraus Columbus.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. And we're drinking. So if you guys don't know, it is halfway to Oktoberfest. They did a special keg tapping. I think it was last week. And so this is our first chance to be here since they've had it. But they've got a golden fest beer.
Yeah.
Golden Fest beer is what we're drinking right now. They also have the Meritzen beer up there, which is the March beer, and they have the Hopfen Spezial.
So explain what a fest beer is for those who don't know.
It's delicious. It is literally proof that God loves us.
That's true.
That is honestly what I mean. To me, there's not a beer up there that I'm not going to like. Even the Hopfen, which is a hoppier beer, even that when I'm here, I'm going to drink it because they don't go crazy. They don't go crazy with the hops here, which is a very nice touch.
Right. So the fest beer is basically it's the Oktoberfest beer.
Yeah, very, 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 very similar. They're not identical, but they're very, very, very similar. Yeah. The Meritzen is also an Oktoberfest style beer as well. Yeah. Or Oktoberfest is a Meritzen style beer. Yeah, that's how that should. Yeah, that's
one of those. One of those.
Fingers and thumbs, guys. Fingers and thumbs.
So there's actually a pretty decent crowd here, and we actually have a second camera set up. Check that out. Got a pretty full house here.
Yeah, so we got seats right here. So if anybody wants to come down and have a beer and drink with us, grab this table right out here in front of us and party on.
That's right. If you want to come down to the Hofbrauhaus Columbus, come on down, buy us a drink, and you can come on stage with us as a reward.
That does happen. I mean, with the crowd that we got here tonight, I'd be a little surprised. But the last time we were here, we had Matt kind of squeezed in between us.
Right.
And nobody came up. So I think he scared him away. I think he scared him away.
Matt has that effect.
So, so both of us right now are drinking the Golden Fest beer.
Yes.
Now, I see the brewmaster sitting right over there right now. And I haven't got a chance to talk to him because I do want to run through his brewing and I want to talk to him about,
we had him on the show once. We got to get him back on to talk about. He's a little shy. He's a little camera shy. He's not a guy who likes a lot of attention, which I like that about him.
Yeah.
I actually like him more because of that.
Yeah. I like him more because he brews delicious beer. Whether he goes on camera or not, or what he does is free, I could care less, man. The guy can brew some beer. So
well, look, here's what we need to do. We need to start a brewery, Underdog Brewery.
The Underdog
and
Brewery.
hire Jason to come on as the brewmaster.
The Underdog Brew. We might have problems with the Brewdog company.
They don't own Underdog.
Well, I know they don't own it.
I own Underdog.
I'm just saying.
We own Underdog.
Yes. I know nothing about this.
Look, we like Brewdog, but nope, she's not coming up to us.
No. So that's one of the things that's really cool. If you come down here, come here on a night when there's music, and you can check their website. They have a calendar and everything. Join their Facebook page, Hofbrauhaus Columbus. They have the Hounds of Hofbrauhaus on the, what's the other, not the Facebook, the thing for the cool kids, Instagram. On the Instagrams, they have the puppy dogs of the Hounds of Hofbrauhaus Beer Garden during the summer when they get the dogs down here. So
hang on, I'm trying to find the desktop. There it is. It's one of those.
Yeah. So get down here, show them some love, and just kind of, drink.
No, it is a cool place. So, like,
it really is.
You'll go to places that give you good service, and you'll go to places that have, a great staff. But this is, like, the only place that I've ever been to where, like, they treat you like you belong here. It's like you're walking into Cheers.
Yeah.
Like, they know you. Even if they don't know you, they know you, and they treat you like they know you.
So I had some people, I actually had a family member come up here a couple weeks ago, and, they treated them like kings. And they're like, yeah, they probably did that because of my tie with you. And I'm like, no, they did that because, and the reason I love them so much is because they're like that. So I've been coming here for 6, 7, 20 years. I don't know. They've only been open 8 years now, I think, up here. And I've been coming here for most of those 8 years. And the reason I kept coming back was because they treated me like that on day one.
Right.
Now, don't get me wrong. I do enjoy a couple extra perks now, but like broadcasting from the stage. But the reason I kept coming back is so they literally treated me like that. So when you get down here, it's not just a one-time thing. So they seem to have it even through the personnel shifts and the turnover and everything that everybody has.
Yeah.
They have maintained that level of customer service, which we've talked about quite a bit about how powerful customer service is.
Absolutely. And
I did that. You put a pretzel bite in your mouth.
You asked me a question as soon as I eat. I know.
I'm like, hand it off to West.
But no, we need to do a whole show just on customer loyalty.
Yeah.
And today's show kind of relates back to that. But, I mean, when you come here, I mean, you feel comfortable.
Yeah.
The seats aren't particularly comfortable, but you feel like you belong here anyway.
once you get a liter of beer in you, these seats are awesome. And the best thing about these seats is you will see a guy as big as
Also,
I am up on these seats doing the chicken dance in here to polka music. All right, so I mean it's a great time.
believe me, I've seen this. But
he put $1 in my pants. Don't even lie to you.
Look. After a few liters of beer, what happens in the Hopper House stays in the Hopper House.
What happens in the Hopper House gets broadcast on Facebook.
You mentioned liter of beer. Here's the great thing about the Hopper House is, you can get a pint of beer. But this is the place where you come for a man-sized beer, a grown-up, adult-sized beer.
This is one of the very few places I can come and I get a glass of beer that is appropriate for my...
It's weird because you get those giant meat hooks, and like when you pick up a pint glass, it looks like you're holding a shot glass.
So,
it's really weird looking.
I was in Florida back in November, and the only beer they had in the room's fridge was Corona.
Okay.
And not only Corona, it was 8-ounce Coronas. So they were like these little teeny bottles. I mean, don't get me wrong, this is a liter Stein. And I had this 8-ounce little bottle.
It looked like you're holding a shot glass.
I was shooting beer. Oh, well, crap, that one's empty. And it was, for what I was there for, and that marked the end of it. Those were some of the best beers, just because those were the beers that capped off a week of just brutal work, just brutal. I was on display from 7 a.m. until 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning all week long.
Oh.
And when that Friday night hit, and we're sitting there, or a Thursday night hit, and I'm drinking that little beer, I'm like, I'm done, thank God.
Time for a tiny beer.
Yes, time for it. That's exactly what I was thinking. Time for a tiny beer. I walk up there and again, I was thinking time for a beer, and then when I got there, that's what I got.
But Dan McDonald says the fact you're both in the same room is nice. It's been a long time. Absolutely. He's a big, New York City guy now. He's way too good for us Central Ohio guys.
New York City. We're good.
See, they just walk by and ask we're good. It's awesome. But big New York City guy here is too good for Central Ohio, so I rarely get to see him in person.
To be honest, I don't even have Boston anymore in my territory that I cover, but given the choice between New York City and Boston, that's tough. I love Boston.
Boston's a fun city. We got to do another show from the Green Dragon.
The Green Dragon, the Boston Cigar Club.
Yeah.
LJ Peretti.
Yeah. Let's make this happen.
There's places out there that are just wonderful. In Boston, I'll tell you, not to go down the Second Amendment world, but I get people all the time like, "Hey, Dave, do you carry blah 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 blah?" I'm like, "No, I don't do any of that." I'm like, really? This, that, and the other. I do this, I do that. I'm like, dude, I wander the streets of New York. I wander the streets of Boston, sometimes a little more tipsy than what is good for a person, and smoking a cigar, hoorah, 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 and talk to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And I have never felt the need for it. So, more power to you. But I got to tell you, if I had to tip the hat one way or the other, I'm tipping my hat to the Green. I'm tipping my hat to Boston.
Yeah.
New York's fun. It literally is the city that never sleeps. I like to sleep, so and my idiotness is every time idiotness is. I don't think that's right. Somebody get the correct word for being a continuous idiot. Idiotness.
I didn't say anything.
And,
I didn't say a thing.
Yeah, well, I don't think it's right. Anyway. I always book hotels at Times Square or near Times Square. And one time I got literally right on Times Square, and literally all night long, they are out there going, I'm out.
I would like to visit Times Square once. I've never been there. I'd like to visit once, but then I kind of never want to go back again.
It's worth. I don't know how to explain it. You can't. Once is not enough. Even just Times Square, once is not enough. You got to go at least twice. 3 times, you're really going to get a feel for it.
See,
but once is not enough.
I want to go to experience it. After that, I want to be out in the country somewhere, smoking my pipe with a bunch of old dudes.
You can smoke a pipe, and in New York City in Times Square, you can fill that pipe with something else.
That's not my kind of pipe.
I happen to agree with that. So we're walking. I got my family with me, and we're walking through Times Square. We came out of the M&M store or something, I think it was. And
M&M's has its own store.
So yeah, it does. It's a whole store for it.
It's a whole different show.
And it's
okay.
Wonderful. We were coming out of the M&M store, the Hershey store, one of the two, and we walk through, and here's all a family, and here comes this guy with a bag full of joints. Hey, you want some? You want some? I think, how did he say it? You
Just
want-
right there outside the M&M
yeah,
store.
just walking. Yeah, no, he's walking down the thing going, "You want some weed? You need some weed? I got weed." And that's literally what he was doing. He had like one of those 1 gallon Ziploc baggies just full of joints. I'm like, and
You know what?
my son looks at me like, "Dad, what
Where the hell are we?
what the hell is going on?"
We need to get that guy on this show because I want to hear his business model and what he's pulling down a year.
Well, I know what his business model is, but I would like to know what I think he could do it more efficiently and more effectively.
We'll set up an e-com shop for him.
Yeah, there's so many things you can do. This is the danger. So there is a guy, I think he's messing with me, that goes to the cigar lounge down by me, and every time I see him, he's got a new idea for a business.
Okay.
And I take
He probably
it,
is messing with you. He
and
knows what you
and
do.
I sit and I'm like, all right, well, we could do this and this and this and this and this, and then I sit and I ruminate on it for a bit, and then I'm like, okay, here's what we do. And I launch into a probably 35-minute thing about how to structure his business, LLCs, S corps, how he needs to market, whether he needs this type of storefront or whether he's just warehouse and all these things. And last night, as he's talking, it was yesterday, talking, I'm like, this guy's messing with me. This guy is honestly, he is literally just hitting every single time. It's a new thing, which I love because
he knows you eat it up.
oh, God, I love it.
Right. That's how we
Absolutely.
started this whole thing.
Well, exactly. It's exactly what this came from.
Literally, that's how this started.
So that is good. So we actually have a topic tonight too, which is brand
We do kind
equity.
But I got a couple news items for you.
Okay, so here's what happened. I said, "Hey West, we're going to be at Hofbrau House," which he'd forgot about.
I totally forgot. He calls me this afternoon. Hey, the family and I we just got in town. I'm like, oh, what are you guys in town for? He's like,
We're doing a
so
podcast.
He tells me.
We're doing a
I'm
podcast.
like, oh,
like
we're
2
going
hours.
to Hofbrau tonight. All right.
So I
That's
texted him.
fine.
I texted him yesterday, and I'm like, "Hey, let's do the podcast on beer." We haven't done a beer podcast.
I
in a
didn't
long
put it
time.
together. I just thought you wanted to talk about beer.
To be honest, that's a fair assessment.
I mean,
so
what
it
I-
is right next door to the Hard Rock. So the Hard Rock over there is pretty cool as well. I try to stay away from them. They're a little too big for the britches. But I should see the comment.
okay,
from,
New York City guy.
I'm not. I don't live in. I live in.
He lives. Look,
There are
okay,
people
Grant,
in
look,
Utah.
I apologize.
Who
He
live in more.
he doesn't
dense
live.
places than I
He
do.
doesn't live in New York City. He lives outside of the city, up in his house that has 3-car garage and a wine cellar and a
Wine
wing of the
cellar-
house he doesn't even use.
Wine
Right
cellar-
next to his walk-in humidor and monocle gallery.
I do not own a single monocle, although my
I
office.
really want a monocle though.
I kind of do as well.
See,
But just to mess with people. Like, literally go down to the cigar lounge, and when somebody starts talking to me, just put it in and be like, well, I think. And just, make stuff up about the stock markets and how good it is to own land.
oh by the way, Dale Wyden says, "Welcome home, Dave."
Well, thank you, Dale. Do it for Dale.
Exactly.
Actually, I have a whole bottle of nitrous oxide in the car for him. Yeah, this is not fake. That's true.
You and Dale going out doing whippets after the show? Is that what's
No,
happening?
it's nitrous. Oh, I was going to say not nitrous. No. This is race car nitrous oxide, not.
Look, I'm not judging.
Not slightly high school
I'm not.
girl.
Look, I'm not.
nitrous oxide.
You got to do what you got to do. I'm not judging.
Yeah.
So Dale,
So
apparently, if you need a little nitrous, Dave's your guy.
no, I am not your guy. I am the guy to the guy.
Dale says, "Yeah, baby."
Yeah, go baby, go. Get that little button from Eleanor from Gone in 60 Seconds. Go baby.
Dave, Dale, are you hitting the NOS switch? Is that what they call it, the NOS?
Well, it's NOS.
Is that a thing?
It's NOS, but no, it's Nitrous FX is the system we're bringing out here to him. So it's not a NOS system. NOS is a brand name.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, you don't want to huff the NOS. You gotta get the less
Hey,
expensive stuff
What
if you
you're
want to.
doing with NOSes on the weekend is your own business.
You and Dale, I'm not judging. Dale, you seem like a good guy. Dave's apparently your hookup. All right. So we got a couple news items here.
Okay, so and recovery time. How many of these news stories do not include AI?
Look, we got a couple news items here for you. We got a couple news items
Indeed.
here for you. Look, it's the 21st century. We're going to talk about artificial intelligence and the oncoming apocalypse. All right? Here we go. So,
I didn't know it was apocalypse night.
Look,
I'd have wore a
it's all
different-
the
I'd
apocalypse.
have wore a different shirt. that
Has
I tapped
anybody
at.
seen any news items over the last week? It's all the apocalypse. All right.
There was a puppy dog who got rescued.
Well, hold your horses here. Hold your horses here. So the first item is one that you brought up earlier this afternoon. Elon Musk and Apple co-founder Steve Wozniak, the Woz,
The great and powerful Woz.
the Woz, among 1,100. They had to mention 1,100. Among 1,100 other people who signed a letter claiming they need a 6-month moratorium on development of AI.
Of powerful,
Because, of course,
powerful AI.
6 months is really going to put a dent in that AI
Well,
algorithm development.
I mean,
As fast as it's growing, it might.
well, I've
But
got to say
It's smart
that
enough now; it can teach itself.
if I'm sorry, but if 1,100 random people signed a letter for something, everybody would be like, no,
Yeah.
no.
But when Musk and the
Yeah,
Woz, I'm still thinking about nitrous oxide. Apparently,
Oh, you are not cool.
you think on the weekends Steve Wozniak and his buddies hang out? He doesn't go by the Woz; he goes by the Nas because he's a hookup.
No, I don't think that at all. No, I do not think that. But it is interesting that they want a 6-month moratorium on it, mainly just to delay it because of how powerful. Was it 4.0?
Well,
or
so
whatever
what
it
they
is
want to
now?
do? Apparently, what they
But
want to do.
If I was Elon Musk and I just released the current most powerful AI, I also would want them. I also would want 6 months of freedom to play with.
Well, right. I have a feeling some of these guys might have vested interests in the
Exactly.
competition taking a break, but
Yes,
I think what they kind of want to do is they want to. Here's the thing. What they're claiming they want to do. Is they want politicians and people to kind of wake up and realize that there needs to be sort of limitations on AI before we get too deep down that rabbit hole.
before we launch Skynet.
However, 6 months isn't going to do anything. Here's what they really want out of this 6 months: to boost people's interest and to pique people's interest in the technology. That's all it's going to do, and that is going to fuel the development of AI after that 6-month period's passed.
I mean,
However, this article only proves one thing to me. That proves. Hang on, I'm going to bring up the other screen here. That proves to me that I think these 1,100 people, including Steve Wozniak and Elon Musk, hate dogs. They don't like dogs.
they don't like dogs.
They hate dogs, and I'll prove it.
All right,
prove
I
it.
got a problem with people. Who don't like dogs.
ChatGPT saved my dog's life after a vet couldn't figure out the diagnosis. This is actually a real story.
All right.
By the way, Dale Wyden says AI means alternate ignorance. Yes, pretty close, according to David. He doesn't like the AIs. I love
I
the
didn't
AIs.
say I didn't like AI. I want it to be called what it is, and I want people to understand that it pulls from source material. No matter what, it's an if or statement, and it pulls from the source material.
That's literally what the human brain does.
Yes. Damn it. But it does it artificially. Damn it. No.
Where's Lieutenant Commander Data when we need him?
Not real, because we haven't gotten that far in AI.
Yet.
But he would agree with me.
Yet. All right, so ChatGPT saved my dog. Basically, I'm not going to read this whole malarkey. Basically, here's what happened.
Malarkey.
All right. So
All right,
apparently,
Sheldon.
this guy's dog had it had really pale gums. It had a lot of problems that were closely associated with anemia. Well, the vet kept saying, well, it's a tick-borne illness. It's anemia, but it's tick-borne. And they went through all this treatments, all this medication. Nothing worked. Nothing happened. And the dog kept getting worse. Well, this guy is apparently a big nerd like me, and he went on ChatGPT 4, by the way, not normal ChatGPT, but ChatGPT 4. And it came back and said, I'm not a veterinarian, but due to the symptoms and blood work you entered in, it looks like it could be this other type of anemia over here. Well, the guy went back to his vet and said, hey, could it be this thing over here? Turns out that was totally it. ChatGPT diagnosed this guy's dog with something that he couldn't even, the vet himself couldn't even identify.
All right, so how does ChatGPT hate dogs in this equation? Because
What?
so Dan McDonald, have you posted it up there? Have you put Dan McDonald's comment up on the screen yet?
Which one?
What do you mean, which one?
Dale Wyden's?
No, Dan McDonald.
Dan McDonald. Right, the 0110011X or 1110010.
So we have a binary statement mixed with Boolean algebra. I love it. I think it needs to be on a freaking T-shirt.
Look, binary or Boolean, It's all good to me. It's all Greek to
Oh.
me. All right. Math jokes. All right. So I'm not sure what comment you're saying to put up there. The point is,
Yeah, go
here.
ahead.
So we talked about normal Chat GPT last week versus GPT-3 or GPT-4. So normal Chat GPT that everybody has access to once you sign up pulls on like 175 billion points of data for language modeling. GPT-4 is only available through $20 subscription or the Microsoft, of course, the Microsoft Bing AI, which nobody's using that silly thing.
I mean, when they didn't have,
But it pulls
Say-
from a trillion data points. A trillion. It goes from
wait, no,
175,
you gotta do it right.
175 billion to a trillion. No, I mean, for this, you need more than a pinky. You need a trillion
That works.
because that's a lot of data points. But anyway, think about it. Think about it. Think about all those hypochondriacs right now who are looking at WebMD, who can
Oh,
now go
yeah.
to ChatGPT-4 and say he's looking up your.
Yeah, I'm actually doing. I'm doing the binary code because Boolean algebra for me is second nature. But the binary code, I still have to take time to translate it through. So I'm trying to figure out what the 011000011 is.
Well, so each one
So
of the.
since he posted it over there, that's all I've been doing. I'm like, yeah, dog and scruffy pups trillion.
I think
yeah.
Dan, correct me, but I think that's gibberish because it's not using hexadecimal.
Well, no, it's pure binary, 0
Right,
1.
right,
If you wanna
0
strip that
0.
down
Right,
further,
but
it's
but
really
for
softball.
single characters in normal binary, it's going to be 6 characters and not 8.
Okay.
What is this? 8 or 9?
Yeah, I'm sorry. So I'm putting in the binary decoder
It's
over
not 9.
here.
I
So,
think it should
okay.
be 6 characters, not 9. So I think it's going to be gibberish.
Okay, well, I mean,
Put it in the
I've got
translator
it.
here.
This is what I come up with.
In
and
which
I'm
case,
like,
it's going
I
to be
don't know what the
single
hell it is.
characters.
Yeah.
It's going to be
Yeah, so there's what I came up with.
C and an O with an umlaut. Is that an umlaut?
Umlaut. So I don't know.
Dan, you're confounding us. You're either a genius or a madman.
I love it. All right, so back over to ChatGPT. So yeah, now all these people have this access to it, which don't get me wrong, is good and bad, which all technology is. You know, we've been dealing with that since Cain used a rock, right? All advancements, everything has. You can build a house with it, or you can kill your brother because he made a better offering to God. So you can go. I did this, but we could do that. So, I mean, either way, what is this binary code you said? That's literally all that's going in my head right now.
Oh, by the way, I think Devin Ross entered that binary into ChatGPT,
They
and he
gave the
gave
same
him the
answer.
same answer.
Oh, did it? Okay. So I didn't enter it in ChatGPT. I have a link. Oh my God, I'm a nerd. I have a link.
He happens to have a link to a
I happen
binary
to-
translator.
I
Why?
happen to have a link to a
why
binary
wouldn't you?
translator. I mean,
What
who
kind of
doesn't?
idiot doesn't? I mean,
Yeah,
come
who
on.
doesn't? I mean, it's nothing fancy. I mean, it works.
Devin, you saved a few steps there. You're a good man.
Indeed.
So, anyway, Elon Musk and Steve Wozniak hate dogs. ChatGPT loves dogs.
Okay.
Well, I know who I'm going with.
Yeah, I want the people who like dogs. You don't like dogs, I don't like you.
They will end humanity. AI will end humanity, but at least it loves dogs. We're good, thank you.
Yeah.
Need a drink?
Good. We're good.
They take care of us here.
Yeah, they do.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, she's one of the best. She's been here for Lord, a
Yeah.
long time. If not since they've opened. She's been here shortly after. If she's not a launch, she's been here for a very long time.
Yeah. No, it's, I mean,
And she always steps up. When she sees us being in here, she's like, they're mine. Don't care what section they're in, they're mine.
right. Well, here's the thing. So here's here's a weird thing about this place. So, there is, of course, it's a restaurant, so there's turnover. There's new people every time we come in here. But,
Yeah.
like, people who've been around, like, they remember.
Oh yeah.
Like me, I don't remember half the people I spoke to yesterday, and that's my own family. But, like, I come in here, and they actually like, hey, Wes, how's it going? And I'll
Oh, there we
out
go.
of politeness, I'll say, hey, how you doing? But, like, I don't know who you are. But they know me, so that's awesome. Okay, so what is
Now
this
that
here?
makes a lot more sense. Dan, thank you so much.
N1G5.
Now there's something that I don't have to go online. I just understand what we're doing here. We got N1G5 or N1G1. XOR. So and then we got N0G0.
What kind of code is this? I don't know this
That
code.
is by. Actually, I can tell this. That is CamWorks logic from Gamel FCI in Boolean algebra.
So wait, hang on. What code? It is a proprietary.
The bits are proprietary, but the language is not.
Okay. I don't know this language. What does it say?
that-
David, translate this.
Well, that means input in 5. It's just AI, Dave. So that's input or input, and then we don't have an output statement because in our world we don't write that.
Come on, Dan McDonald. Get your output stuff together.
Yeah, where's the equal sign? I need the equal sign on the right-hand side of it. In some worlds, 1 is 0, off is right, confused statement of off. Okay, so right now, this is great because we have an automation guy watching.
Dan
And we
Wyden.
have Del Wyden's an automation
Dale
guy, and Dan McDonald is a life safety guy. So that is true because if you go to the other side of the world where a lot of development is, there's a country that developed they worked with the number 0 a lot. So 0 is 1 and 1 is also 1.
Well, that's not confusing at all.
Not confusing at all. And when you have,
I use base 8 math, thank you.
when you have there's literally software we have that I have to deal with that is made on both sides of the world. In one part of it, it's number 1 and 2, and on the other part of it, it is 0 and 1. So 1 equals 2 and 0 equals 1, and you got to keep them in line. So,
Well, that's just silly.
yeah. So if you
Silly.
have an N0G0 regional general alarm, why do we need N1G1 or whatever the other ones were? You could just use N0G0 equal your output statement and we're done. Careful, Dan and I can go on this.
Look, I'll just ask ChatGPT.
Just ask Chat. I don't know if it would have it. I don't know if it would work.
You want to try it?
So what are we talking about tonight? We're talking about brand equity. Do we have any more
Brand
news?
equity. We didn't
Do
even
we
talk
have any
about brand
do we have
equity.
any news? We're talking about brand equity. We're
What
in
is
the
brand
Hopper
equity,
House. There's
David?
a lot of stuff there. So where are we at here?
So
Why
yeah.
are you being so weird, Facebook? All of a sudden my screen keeps going blank. I have to keep refreshing it. Sometimes it'll pop up all the way. Sometimes it won't.
The AI doesn't like you anymore.
The AI does not like. It doesn't. It's like you talking shit about me.
So real
huh?
quick, while we're getting into it, so brand equity, just for everybody's awareness, it's basically people's perception of your company. It's a combination of perception, experiences, and opinion about your company, about your brand. And companies pay big money for this.
Yeah.
I mean, it takes years to build equity, and
Yeah.
you can build it over the course of years, and you can wreck it in a single tweet. Happens all the time.
You can. Nope, that's political.
I'm not getting political.
You can also, if you hire. Nope, that's political. If you.
Say
The
without being
bottom
getting
line.
political.
The bottom line is we've actually talked about brand equity in the past, and we talked about 77% of consumers will buy based upon the brand alone.
Yes, they sure will.
And that's a real big deal. That brings a lot to the table and a lot to think about when you hold the basket of brand equity. Basically, what value it is you're taking to the consumer with your name, your packaging, with your brand, and all the stuff that's encompassed in it. What you're taking to them. How can you leverage it? Spit it out, Dave. No, I'm not. I'm moving on.
And Matt Hamlin made it. Matt Hamlin,
Hey,
welcome to
there
the
he
show.
is. He said he was having a problem with the link earlier. So sorry if anybody's just joining us now. The link that wasn't working earlier seems to be working now. So
we need to get Matt
that's
Hamlin
good.
on the
So
show to talk
I
about
know
his business.
Matt
Hamlin's
Hamlin's, I think he's in recovery. I think he said something to his wife, and she might have hit him with a 2x4 or something. I don't know the whole story or any of it, actually. I just made all that up. And but I know he's on the mend, and we're glad that you're good enough to join us tonight.
I didn't even know about that. So Matt Hamlin, I hope you have
You
a speedy
don't
recovery.
follow our fans?
I don't get on Facebook for personal reasons. Facebook,
I shouldn't.
you know what, Zuckerberg, when you hacked my computer and you kicked us off because I mentioned
In this very spot.
it, literally happened. I'm not making this up. Zuckerberg, you're on my list. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, you're on his Sheldon list.
But by the way, Matt Hamlin says he's in Louisville. By the way, Louisville. You got to say it with a mouthful of marbles. Louisville.
Louisville.
All right. Anyway, so brand equity. You can.
I took a bite. You
It
gotta
takes
talk.
years to build it, and you can wreck it in a single tweet. And we can go on about how you build it slowly. Basically, again, it's how people feel about your brand. It's that feeling. It's that brand recognition plays into it as well. Think about it this way, okay? When you're on Amazon and you look up, I don't know, coffee maker as a random thing, you'll see a dozen identical products with random made up names,
Yeah.
and you'll see one of them that has a name that you slightly recognize.
Yep.
That plays into brand equity. You recognize the name, you buy that one. Even if it has slightly lower ratings than the ones you've never heard of,
Yep.
you recognize the name, you've heard of it before. Or we're not getting political, but let's say you're voting, okay? Let's say you're voting. Now, you're in the voting booth. You're punching the punch card, or you're pressing the buttons, and you're hitting the ding-dongs. And you gotta look, there's a curtain, you do what you gotta do. I'm not judging. But you're doing what you gotta do to vote. And you see a lot of names you've never heard of before. You see that one name that you've seen, it strikes something in your mind. You don't know where you know this name from, but you're like, I recognize this name. It's the right color, red versus blue versus purple. You're going to go for that one. Guess what just happened? All those yard signs baked that name into your brain, built a small amount of brand equity for that name. You just fell into the trap and voted for the person that had the better brand development process.
Yeah. See, I would have went with the grocery store approach versus a political approach.
Okay, store brands. Store brands. Most people are aware, at this point, that store brand is actually identical to the off brand.
Yeah, there is.
The name brand. The name brand.
Yeah,
they're actually made in the same factory in a lot of
factory,
cases.
Same plant, same everything. Everything comes off. The difference is packaging.
Right. That's it. That's
What
exactly
do they do to the packaging for a name brand? Now, I'm going name brand first. What do they do to a packaging for a name brand product?
Oh, they spend hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions of dollars, developing the packaging, getting it perfect, spot on perfect, and they'll go through iteration after iteration after iteration to get the perfect packaging for that name brand.
Bright, vibrant colors.
Yeah.
And very shiny. If you take that same product and put it in a muted color, like it's washed, and get rid of the sheen, now it's a store brand. It's exactly the same product.
But here's what's funny. So we could actually do a whole show just on that. Store brands actually do that on purpose because it gives the vision of a bargain, of a value. Yeah. So that's a whole different show, but you're totally right.
That's value proposition selling.
Because they both know their niche.
Exactly.
They both know their niche.
So yes, that's a huge thing. And yes, that is how you say the word niche. It is not niche. It is niche.
Niches get stitches, man.
Yeah,
niches get stitches. That's all I got to say.
So every time I'm in a meeting, we're like, well, yeah, we're in this good niche. And I'm like,
yeah.
I literally want to club you right now.
Yeah, look, I am not in a comfortable enough place right now to be able to make fun of some things I've heard in meetings. But I could do a whole show just on the things I've heard in meetings.
Oh, so I use, when I'm on my meetings, I have my earbuds in, I have my microphone here, and I use this mic. Now, I've got another microphone, and I might switch over to it because it has a mute button as well.
Yep.
But I keep my mic muted, little button right there, beep, and I mute. And I click on the screen, and I mute myself there. So I'm double muted because some of the stupid ass things that these people say.
Yeah.
I'm just ready. I'm losing my bananas. Like, I'm a monkey with no bananas. I can't take it.
Right.
It is painful to listen to some of this stuff. I'm like, wait a minute. You know, we've talked a lot about the 80-20 rule, about not offending your core, not, don't go after that 20. Don't market and sell to the people out here on the right or the left or the up and the down. You want to sell right here. And the idea behind any business should be to grow the number of people that are in your 80-20. You're always going to have those outliers. Don't sell to those outliers. You sell to your core. And if your core
You're raving
is here,
fans, if you were. Or you're 1,000
fans,
true
you're
fans.
1,000 true fans. 2 books, by the way, that I think anybody that's watching this show should absolutely read. 1,000 True Fans and Raving Fans.
We need the authors of both of those books.
We should, because they're really good. So, okay, all right, I got to go on a tangent. Dave tangent number 27.
Today alone.
So I shared this out to a lot of people. It's pronounced
Nietzsche. Nietzsche.
I know he's messing with us. I like a lot of quotes. I like a lot of what Nietzsche says, but not everything.
I don't get political, But I like Miss Nietzsche.
It's tough. It's tough not to. it's tough not to. Anyway, what was I talking about? Okay. Anyway,
Tangent?
I'm, where were we? We talking about Nietzsche? No, we weren't talking about Nietzsche. Oh, no, I share the podcast out to a lot of people, all right? So, Paris Hilton, she's too good to reply, right? So,
Yeah,
I
come
share
on.
this. I have no idea how it happens, but somehow Paris Hilton ended up on my invite list, and I sent for weeks.
I don't know how, but in my search history, Paris Hilton came up. I don't know what's going on.
Not in my search history. I have no idea. Okay,
Oh,
you
by the
can
way, your
look
mom
at
just
my
came on.
search history,
By the way,
and there's
hi, Laura Lyons Black. How you doing?
It's embarrassing.
We're talking
but
about David Leffingwell's search history here.
So my search history is very embarrassing, but it has nothing to do with any kind of adult content.
What is binary for 1000100?
It was 0110011. There were 3 zeros. 011000011. Okay. Anyway,
2. There is no 2. Future, I'm a joke. Go ahead. There's no such thing as 2, David.
no. Anyway, so Jordan Peterson.
Oh, Matt Harmon says Paris Hilton
Hashtag
ding dong.
Those are 2 separate hashtags, but work as one. I don't know. I mean, I think she's actually like mature. So
Paris
I don't
Hilton?
know. I think so. I mean, she's older now, right? I mean, she's had to mature a little bit.
I mean, she's pushing. I mean, yeah, she's up there.
Yeah,
she's well out of her
like
prime.
70, 75,
She's 80 something. Yeah, I get it.
Anyway, so again, because I'm actually a fan of Jordan Peterson, so I know how, because I was literally sending this show over to him because we were referencing him a lot, and we got a thumbs up. We got a
From
thumbs
Jordan
up
Peterson.
from Jordan. We got a like.
That's
from Jordan
kind of cool.
Peterson.
Look,
And
like him or not, political or not,
Yeah.
that's kind of cool.
So I'm literally laying in bed, and I see it come through, and I'm smacking a wife going, hey, I got Jordan Peterson just freaking liked this thing, man. He liked the thing. He sent me a thumbs up. This is the coolest thing that's literally ever happened to me.
That's pretty awesome.
And my wife's like, coolest thing ever, really?
Right.
Like
Your
yeah.
wife, the mother of your children.
So I ended up chit-chatting with him a little bit, back and forth. And, he's not coming near me, but the next time he comes near me, I'm going to one of his shows. And we were like,
Hey,
fanboy.
look, you know who I am?
Underdog Journey.
You liked my video.
You liked me, gave me a thumbs
You know
up.
who I
We were
am.
chit-chatting. We go way back. You, me, and Musk.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Matt Harmon, hashtag Jordan Peterson. Doctor. There should be a doctor in there somewhere.
He's a doctor of something. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was really great. All right, so that's the end of my tangent for that one. It was just, I wanted a chance to show
Look,
off
the
that Jordan
brand
Peterson was
equity
chicken.
that he has
Exactly.
plays in to things that he approves of.
Yes.
Apparently,
So
he approves of us.
He approves of us. Whether we are an example of what not to do, or
It's so hard to stay out of politics.
Or yeah, and that really is. It really is. So as you guys know, we have a pretty firm standing of if your business is not politics, stay the hell out of politics.
Right. Exactly.
So, and
by the way, FYI, Bo Derek is still a walking goddess.
wasn't that
Isn't
a
Bo
baseball
Derek
player?
that baseball player?
That's what I was
He
thinking.
played football too.
Was that Bo? Yeah. No, that's Bo Jackson.
Bo Jackson.
That's Bo Jackson. Who the hell is
Who's Bo Derek?
Now I've got to go.
Matt,
Now you
Is
can
this
get to
like
the search
is
history.
is this an old dude thing, Matt?
Yeah, well,
I don't know.
He is old.
Look, now he's
Okay,
googling
so
Bo
he's
Derek.
okay, so it's an American actress.
Yeah, Matt. I think we haven't quite aged into that one yet. It's we're getting there.
She's 66 years old.
No, that's Paris Hilton.
Oh, that's Paris Hilton. All right.
All right. We're not helping
That was
ourselves.
that
We're
was
not
a great
helping ourselves.
callback. High five. That was a good callback.
High five. We good? You
I'm
good?
almost out. How much you got left?
I'm good for now. Thank you. He needs
We got
one.
one more pass. We'll be good. We'll do one
All
more
right.
lap, and then we're ready for a
anyway,
pit stop.
so brand equity. So
Brand
we actually started when we were planning the show. Planning is in quotes because it's a very nebulous idea here sometimes.
A nebulous idea. That is a business buzzword, and we need to drink.
Nebulous is business? I was thinking spacey, but I'll drink to it.
What was the word you put in front of nebulous? What was it you
Paris
said?
Hilton.
No. I'll just drink.
Brand
Go on.
equity. No.
No. There was
Planning is nebulous.
No.
on
there
this
was
show.
There was something else. Abstract,
Look,
nebulous.
I don't have
know.
the bandwidth to
Let's pivot.
I don't have the bandwidth to follow up on that. I'll ping you when I think of it. And until then, we're just going to pivot until
We'll circle back.
we get more beer. Yes.
We'll circle back.
Matt Harmon says, #nebulous.
Dan McDonald says 5 laps per liter. I like it.
That'll work. So anyway,
That's
we were
good miles
planning
per gallon.
on talking about the brand equity that Hofbrau built.
That's right.
Because, dude, their brand equity is amazing.
It is.
You see the logo. You see the logo. You see the checkers. You see the
Yep,
blue
the
and white
Bavarian-
checkered
yeah, the
stuff.
Bavarian checker, yeah.
You see the pretzels. You see the beer cheese. You see, you walk into this place and you immediately think of a German beer hall.
Yeah.
Right? That's not just branding. They're building brand equity by having great service, by treating their customers well, by people coming in, having a great beer, a great experience. They take that home, they remember it.
Yeah.
Over time, this builds. That builds into good brand equity.
Oh, so I'm going to propose a question to you. No, I'm not proposing the West. If we had same structure building, 3 doors down, that said Columbus Beer Hall, do you think it would succeed?
Not a chance.
I think it would be crushed.
Yeah, immediately.
It would have a spike in the beginning, but the brand equity that Hofbrau House carries with it, the HB that carries with it,
Right.
that name brand, that brand recognition, that brand equity is just going to. There is a distillery right down the road.
Yeah, there is.
They don't sell beer. They won't sell beer because this is right here.
Well, look, yeah. So
And this is Columbus, Ohio, so it's not like people here don't drink.
we've talked a lot about how easy it is to build a business, and it is. You could start a business right now,
We've
and in the
actually
course of
shown
5
how
minutes,
easy
it could
is.
be registered. It could
Yeah.
be you could be selling products by this evening, easily. You can do it. You can put together a brand strategy, a marketing strategy, advertising all around it. But until you have exposure to the audience, pull up the second camera here. Until you have exposure to the audience, to your customers, and get them to understand your brand, get them to like your brand, get them to follow your brand, you don't have brand equity until that point. Brand equity takes time and effort, and companies spend millions, if not billions of dollars in some cases, billions of dollars, building brand equity.
I'm going to eat this pretzel.
Which is why I kind of started the show joking by saying, and some companies lose it with a single tweet, and they do.
Yeah.
Think how many
damage
times
you can do.
a brand makes a dumb decision, they get political, and they make a dumb decision, and their long-term fans, we were talking about one on the drive here, we're not going to bring it up, we were talking about one on the drive here that had great brand equity, epic, mythical brand equity.
Yeah.
They made one decision, and guess what? That is going to destroy that brand for years. For
Yeah,
years.
we're watching the stocks on it. We're watching to see where it goes. We know what's going to happen. We want to see what the delay is, what the impact is. There's a lot of stuff there. When you do something that shifts away from your core, and the people that are bringing you well over. Hold tight. We have an emergency. Conference we need to attend here. Do you want another one of these? One of Marzen. We got to discuss what beer we're going to have next.
I'm going Marzen.
Meritzen.
Danke.
Double Meritzen.
Thank you.
They do a wonderful black and tan here.
They do.
Oh, it's so good. Oh, they got the Hefeweizen. All right,
Dave
so
McDonald, look at Nike. The
ooh,
sneaker
that's
of
dangerous.
choice. It could get very political. Look at
Yeah.
Nike. The sneaker of choice was Converse or Adidas. Then Michael Jordan came, and Nike
Yeah.
exploded. There's a movie coming out about that soon.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
I thought Dan, you were going a different direction with how Nike hurt the brand equity.
Which they had a dip, and they're
But you're right.
surviving.
The Air Jordan. I mean, it was a
Their-
game changer.
Yeah, their
literally.
collaboration, and And really, Michael Jordan's money, his money is from the Nike.
Yeah.
His endorsement is where the money's coming from. It wasn't a basketball.
Right.
It was the endorsement deal.
And maybe Fruit of the Loom.
I
Maybe
forgot about that. Whoa, there's somebody out there screaming for us.
But
little kid saying "shut up." Oh, I hear an adult now saying.
But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see. And some of you may be able to guess. We're not gonna. If you comment on it, we're not gonna put it on the screen because it gets political.
Yeah,
but there was a big brand that recently made a decision. They got very political, and it went 180 degrees away from their core audience.
From their core audience.
180 degrees.
It's so. You can see some short gains on that. And that's where I fear that our society is becoming so instant gratification that people are looking for that nothing further than the end of their nose.
Right.
So, yeah, will this brand survive? Probably so. In fact, because of the power, the brand equity that it has, the staying power that it has, I think it will survive. But it's going to be completely different. The structure of it's going to be so different. And the biggest thing that all of us want, all of us, if you're in business, I don't care what your business is, what's the one thing you want? Market share.
Absolutely.
And their market share will never look the same. Ever.
Oh, 100%. So Dan McDonald also brought up another point here, still talking about Michael Jordan, and that's when a person became a brand. And that gets into personal branding, too. And you get that with celebrities, with business people. They have a personal brand. And brand equity comes along with that as well.
So I actually
and you
left
can
the
wreck
business.
that just as fast.
Exactly.
Happens
I
all
left
the
the
time.
business. I left the business, and when I left, I was there for 30 days, which was the window of, hey, come in, no ifs, ands, buts about it. We can get rid of you. You can get rid of us, and nobody ever really executes that. Well, I did. I said, I do not want my name associated with you. You are going to damage my name, my brand.
Right.
And I left. I went and ran my own business for a while.
Yeah.
And then went back into the workforce because it wasn't worth risking my brand about being a top tier in my industry, in my field.
Yeah.
It wasn't worth it.
Oh, absolutely. So personal branding is huge. And I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example of how you can wreck a personal brand. But maybe this is counterintuitive. Maybe this is counter to what I'm saying because most people know this and they still don't care now. And I'm going to say this person. I'm going to mention this person. I'm going to mention how their brand should have been wrecked and how it's not wrecked.
The mute button's too far away.
And I'm not going to feel the least little bit sad about it when you hear about what it is.
Okay. Oh, okay. Go ahead.
You don't even. I don't think you know.
I don't think I know.
I don't think you know. Tom Hanks. How do people know Tom Hanks?
That's Forrest Gump.
Well, no. What is his reputation? The nicest man in Hollywood.
The nicest man in
The nicest, most personable person in Hollywood. Right?
What is he?
That's what people say about him.
How many jetliners did he take?
Well, here's something that should have come out. Well, that should be bigger news than it is, but nobody's talking about it. And I don't feel bad saying it. Apparently, so recently, the Epstein list came out.
I knew that's where it was
and
going.
One of the
I was
very
hoping it wasn't.
biggest names on that list was Tom Hanks. I don't feel bad about saying his personal brand equity should be wrecked right now. But his equity is so large. His equity is so healthy. Most people don't care.
Yeah.
Don't care.
Yeah.
Look.
I'm just going to sit over here and make weird noises until we move on from this.
He's very uncomfortable. But when it comes to that list,
Pete, we've been preaching about staying away from politics.
We don't care. I'm not getting political. This is not political.
Yeah, I get it.
This is not political.
This
is not political.
This is right and wrong. And let's move it on.
I'm going to poorly paraphrase Dumbledore right now. Harry.
Doing what's easy.
There comes a time in every wizard's life when he must choose between what is right and what is easy. That is not at all what Dumbledore said, but in my mind, that's how I hear it back.
I need you to have a different hair color right now because, what's easy is a drunk redhead.
Thank you. Devin Ross says...
Yep, I got the right one.
I mean, it shouldn't be political, but unfortunately, you're right, Devin. Everything's political, which is why we have a really hard time coming up with news items sometimes to talk about. Because everything is political.
There are many times you'll hear Wes be like, "Hey, Dave, you got any news article today?" I'm like, "Nothing that's not political," because I'll comb through and I'll look for things like, "Yeah, that just takes us too close," or That's not too close. It is politics.
Right.
And but because we've allowed so many things to become politicized, that it makes it difficult.
Oh, Fidelity Mobile Wrapping Solutions. I know who you are. I'm not putting that comment on the screen because that's very political.
Yeah.
But you're right.
It
But you're
is.
right.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not saying what Bud Light did was right or wrong, but I'm not putting that comment on the screen
Yeah.
because I'm not getting political.
Yeah.
And
but,
it's-
I mean, we
You,
strip
but
it
you're 100%
away,
right.
Stripping away the politics of it, just as a sheer business move.
Right. Look,
And that's what really we're talking about.
from
We're
a
not,
business move,
politically, we don't care.
unless your business is politics,
Stay
keep
out of it.
your business out of politics.
Yeah.
That's
It's
what
the
it comes
best way
down
to
to.
go.
And that
Stay
comes
away
down
from
to your
it.
personal brand, too, which is why
Exactly.
we don't talk about politics online like this.
Yeah, we don't. So
We
yeah.
let people like Fidelity Mobile Wrapping Solutions talk about politics.
Oh man, you called it out the whole freaking company by name.
He
Oh,
put it in the comments.
Well, I mean, he put it in the comments, but maybe he didn't. He's old fuddled up like me. Maybe he doesn't know he switched profiles and he didn't know who he was putting out there under his business.
No, we got to get him on the show to talk about his business, though.
We do, and I think I'd like to go down there and
No, we
I'd
really
like
gotta
go
get
down
him on
there
the
and
show.
see it. I'd like
Yeah.
to go see it, and I'd like to have a
I
competition.
still wish you had your Corvette because I really wanted to wrap your Corvette with like bullet holes and like make it look like the General Lee, but like with bullet holes and stuff in it.
Yeah, that'd work. Yeah, that would work. No, I don't want you to do that. No, I would rather Lightning McQueen.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
Than the General Lee. The General Lee was a Charger, and I think it should stay that way.
You know, it was. You know
That
what?
was a
In
cool
the
car.
'80s, it was acceptable.
It's acceptable
I
now.
don't think you
but
get away
it
with it
stopped
today.
Anyway, the brand equity has been brewing for the Hofbrauhaus since 1589.
That is
how
a
far
long-term
back-
game for brand equity.
Yeah, that is how far back the Hofbrauhaus stretches.
Wow.
So there's been just tons and tons of stuff happen. They're kind of the highlight when you go to Oktoberfest over there.
Mhm.
You know, where they have the tents. If you don't know if you're not familiar with the Oktoberfest setup, you go out there. There's tents set up for the brew houses and whatnot. The Hofbrauhaus tent is really hard to get into, and
I really want to go to Oktoberfest over there sometime, but like, I'm not sure we'd be able to move, let alone do a show.
well, I mean,
It's wall-to-wall people.
yeah. So we decided it's like, hey, when they're going to bring it back, we're not going the first year, which was this past year.
Yeah.
So it's possible maybe this year or next. I would probably say more than next year that we would look at it and make a trip over to
Let's
them and let it fade
talk
out a little
about
bit
it.
because, man, it's
I'd rather
a
go in the
wall-to-wall.
off-season.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't mind also going in the off season, but I do want to go to. I mean, why would you not want to go to Oktoberfest? I mean, it's awesome. So just take a guess. And I
All
told
right.
you this earlier, so it's kind of fake.
Sure.
Fake news here. This reporting. How many people daily rock through the Hofbrauhaus, the original one in Munich, Germany, a day?
You know, I think you told me earlier, but I don't remember it all.
Don't remember it all. 35,000.
1,000? That's a lot of people.
35,000 people through
A
Platzel.
day.
Through Platzel
A
9
day.
at the Hofbrauhaus. At
The one
At
location?
the Hofbrauhaus, yes, in Germany.
Unbelievable.
35,000 people.
So my
visit
current wife
the-
has actually been there. She has a Stein from the Hofbrauhaus.
Oh, she's a lot cooler than you are.
She's
That's
way
what she
cooler
said.
than me.
Okay. Hey, Kirsten, I need you to come do a show with me. 'Cause
Look,
I'm
I say
pretty
the
cool.
current wife, not because I'm going to change my mind. She might change her mind at some point.
Both of our wives should have changed their minds a long time ago.
Dan
Let's-
says
let's be
that's
honest.
before 5 p.m. Look, that's a huge audience. Man, I'd love to see what they pull down, what that one single location pulls down in a year.
Oh, yeah.
I'd love to see that.
To be honest, yes, the numbers, the dollar numbers, the revenue numbers I want to see. I also want to see what the margin is and things of that nature.
Well, right.
But the number that really gets me and goes, I really want to know what this number is. I want to know how many
liter of beer,
liters
the
of
number,
beer.
how many beers? How many
I want to know
liters?
how many liters of beer. I want to know how many liters of beer a day.
The answer is a lot.
Yeah, the answer plus 2. It would be insane.
So I've been to Germany. I've spent some time in Germany, but I wasn't really. I was pretty young.
Yeah.
I want to go back now that I'm, I know what I'm doing when I walk into a bar. I want to go to a Jaeger house Because
Okay.
here's the thing.
Oh,
in
'cause you're
America,
old.
no.
'Cause
Well,
you're
yeah,
an
right.
old funnel nut.
That gets us back to branding, brand
That's
equity.
It. Such huge.
So in
Oh, that's
America,
great. That is
American Jaeger versus German Jaegerhaus, right?
great. Yeah.
So in America, what do you think of when you think of a Jägermeister?
Frat boys.
Frat boys,
Party
yeah!
on. Yeah.
Let's do a Jaeger
shot.
bomb.
Jaeger
Woo!
bomb. Woo! You do it. Well, okay. Now in Germany,
A Jaegerhaus is full of old people, old dudes smoking clay pipes,
drinking digestives.
talking about the weather, or drinking digestive
Drinking digestives.
digestives.
Yes.
That's more up my alley.
I-
I actually
I'd be-
kind of
will
like
they allow me to have a
Jägermeister when drunken
Drinking.
appropriately.
Drinking. So you're the pipe guy. I'm the cigar guy.
You are. Oh, this guy. Well, here you got another point for branding.
Right here. So we actually
You
talked
get a
about
great
this.
cigar for branding here.
We actually had a,
Pull
we
this
had a
guy
talk
out.
about this the other day.
We
This
did.
is,
We talked about this.
this is the Cuban.
Put that up to
Cohiba.
the camera there.
You see there. And it's got its holograms and everything in it, so it's
Yeah, it's not
an
gonna focus.
authentic.
Yeah.
It's close enough.
It's the Cuban Cohiba.
It's the
So
Cuban
for those who
Cohiba.
don't know, there are two different Cohibas right now.
Yeah.
There's the Cuban Cohiba that's actually made in Cuba. That was actually, the company was originally founded to make cigars specifically for Fidel Castro. And then there's the American Cohiba, which is owned by, I think, General Cigar Company, General Tobacco, something like that.
Yeah.
And since you can't sell Cuban cigars in America, American Cohibas can use the Cohiba name. And there's been a lawsuit ever since.
Yeah, we talked.
we did
about-
a whole
talked
thing
about
on
this a whole
this.
few weeks ago.
But
about
the
it,
brand,
and
the
the brand
branding,
equity goes
which
along
is
with
why
it.
General Tobacco
So
did an amazing job.
you can sit there and have your Jägermeister and your pipe with your Lane Avenue broadleaf, and I'll have my Jägermeister with a. Actually, I wouldn't pair it with a Weller Cohiba. I'd go something a little darker, and I've got a Davidoff, the Late Hour.
Davidoff is a great
I think that's what I'd go.
cigar.
I also got a couple Monte Cristo here.
Good
as
stuff.
well. Oh, this is the Nicaraguan.
Yeah.
That's really good. But the Monte
Good
Cristo would
stuff.
go with it. But maybe the Late Hour. I think that's really what I would go with. If I was doing Jaeger tonight, I think that's what I would go to.
We still need to do a show from the cigar place down the street.
Yeah, La Cavetta.
Yeah.
Yeah,
La
La
Cavetta
Cavetta.
or
So-
Chivetta? I think it's
I'm
Chivetta.
gonna call it La Cavetta because
Because you're white.
I'm weird. Yeah, just call me white.
I mean, you are.
Redhead pasty.
I mean, look, I'm not saying I'm not.
So I was. This is not a tangent whatsoever. So I was watching a random YouTube video the other day that was saying that we didn't have redheads until the aliens came down and mated with the Earthlings.
Actually, red hair is actually a genetic anomaly.
Well, I did say that would explain a lot.
No, it's true. So look, being a ginger, I've done my research. It's actually a genetic anomaly that first started in Central Asia. Believe it or not.
Bro, I'm changing your name in my phone to Ginger. Ginger West.
The Ginge.
That's your stripper name.
The Ginge. I'll
Ginger
take it.
West.
You gotta do what you gotta do, man.
Next on the poll, next on center stage, Ginger West.
Look.
Candy, get ready on the east.
If you can't prove the carpet matches the drapes, I don't know where I'm going with this. Let's move back to brand equity. That's much safer conversation. Look,
Isn't that's what led us in?
This is why I don't tell people that I work with in my day job about this show.
I tell everybody.
You do. That's
Like,
your
bring
own
it.
fault. That's your own fault.
Hey, my brand equity is
Dan McLeod, that's your own fault for watching this show. Redheads are AI bots. I've often thought that.
well.
Devin Ross says abandon that one. Thank you, Devin. I totally agree. Look, we're living in a simulation.
Yes. Indeed.
I am little more than a NPC in this game. I'll
Yeah.
take it.
That's what we are. So anyway, we've talked about you 35,000 people going to this to the Hofbrauhaus, and one of the things that they have there, and we have here, which I did not grab the sign tonight, is you will go in and you will see sections marked for Stammtisch. Now,
Yeah.
Stammtisch tables are local tables. So if you go in and visit, you don't sit there. You don't get it. You don't say, hey, I'll go sit over here. If you're not a local, if you're not a regular,
Right.
you don't sit in the Stammtisch table. Excuse me. There are 2 or 3. I think we have 2 signs, and the other group has 1 sign here. So there are 3 total Stomptishes here.
Yeah.
Of people who come in, and what happens is we're big groups. So this guy might come in just after work and do a happy hour pint.
Mm-hmm.
But the guy who sat down first may be there for hours. And the basics of it is that's that Stomptish. That is the raving fan. That is your 1,000 true fans. And it's the other side of it for us here. It's really easy to track. It's because we're the Steinmasters.
Well, Steinmaster membership is it's a membership. It's a loyalty program.
Yeah.
You get, and it's literally a loyalty program. You get an incentive because you get special discounts, you get deals, you get things like T-shirts. I got one of these at home with my name on it. You get these awesome Steins.
Yeah.
Guess what? You leave this Stein here. You don't even take this home.
Yeah.
You only use this when you're here, so you're incentivized to use this stuff, to come back, to get the deal.
Yeah. So
loyalty programs
explain
play a big
your
role.
Stein. Explain your Stein. So Wes is a Steinmaster here at the Ufbra House, and you have a locker, right?
I do. There's a locker. I have my own lock, my own key, my own Stein. Nobody else can use my Stein. It's locked up until I come back to use it. The loyalty program of the Steinmaster membership is unbeatable.
It is.
It is the best loyalty program I've ever been a part of.
It is. So there are some really big companies
I know we're not mentioning names.
that could really take a step back and look at the Hofbrauer houses. So we've got one in Pittsburgh, we got one here in Columbus, there's one in Newport, and those 3 are all owned by the same investor group.
Yeah.
And there's one in Cleveland. There's
Which one
in
has
Buffalo.
the gold?
Buffalo. So in Buffalo, if you're one of the owners members, there's a top on these things called
So you'll see the
A
old
decal.
German Steins. They occasionally have the pewter tops.
yeah.
This one's gold.
Yeah, these are gold when you're part of it. And there was a person that was thinking about possibly getting out of the investment here, and we were going to get
I was
going
gonna
to
buy. I was
together
totally
and
gonna
say,
buy
hey,
that
we're going
up.
to buy that guy out.
Yeah.
And the Steinmasters actually, that's how much brand equity and that's how much energy that they feed to us is that we were willing to buy in
Yeah.
to the business.
Right. Dan McLeod says simple supply and demand and loyalty.
Yeah.
Supply and demand plus loyalty.
Oh, it's gold.
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 Companies spend
Oh.
millions, if not billions of dollars working on those exact things. Dan,
Oh, yeah.
you're 100% correct.
Yeah, absolutely. In billions of dollars. You take a look at the markets across the country over the course of the year. Billions easy. We can even stop saying millions. Literally billions are spent because there is so little, and some people do this, that they go after the fringe. They go after the far left, this is not political, the far left, right? The far left political scope or the far right political scope. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about when you look at it. All right, I got to nerd out a little bit here. Just a little.
Wait,
just
now
a
you're
little.
nerding out?
Just a little. So when you take a look at your marketing and when you look at your revenue and your sales, you are going to notice a bell curve. All right.
Right.
And that's the far right and the far left. The far left.
The far to left
far-
and the far to right.
The far to left and the far to right. No, the far left and the far right. That's the far left and far right that I'm talking about. Is when we're talking about the bell curve. That is what I'm referencing to. It has nothing to do with politics. So when you start marketing to these people out here, it's like, hey, I can get these people to spend more dollars. Stop. You find yourself doing that, stop.
Mm-hmm.
If you find a person above you, start doing that, kick them in the testicles. Stop them. Or the kneecap. I mean, whatever.
Kick them in whatever happens to be dangling at the time.
Yes, wherever. Just stop them. The bottom line is stop them. There's no reason ever to spend a single dollar. You do not spend a single marketing dollar, advertising dollar, sales revenue dollar on the guy over here or the guy over there. You don't do it.
Right. Here's what you do, and
Nerd
you're
alert.
you're playing right, but you're playing right. So you're playing right into it. You have your raving fans. You have your 1,000 true fans. You have your loyalty audience. They're locked in. If you've incentivized them correctly, Steins, shirts, special discounts for being a member.
We pay for
You've
all
locked
of this.
you've locked them in. Take advantage of that situation, and they will write the check for you.
Yeah.
They will
Over
sign the
and
check.
over and over
Absolutely.
again.
Look, and so we've talked about this a lot. And here's the core point of raving fans and 1,000 true fans. You don't need 1 million people on YouTube who are subscribed but never watch your content.
Yeah.
You need 1,000 people, 1,000 people who spend, a nominal amount of money on you per year.
So
That's it. You don't need 1 million people. You need 1,000 people who love you.
I'm a fan of Big Bang Theory. I'm a fan of Downton Abbey. I want to stop there because anything more than that gives too much away. But I have watched incomplete those series at least 10 times each. Harry Potter, big fan of Harry Potter series. I have watched those at least 10 times each, and I have read the books at least 10 times each.
I'm on that. Okay, I read a lot of books. I'm with you.
So it's bringing that. So I don't necessarily have to have somebody that's out there, and those do have a pretty broad fan base. Here we go. Let's go with the smaller market, but really engaged fans.
Okay.
The Boondock Saints.
Ooh.
Yes.
Well,
let's
so
go
now
with the
you're talking
Boondock
about
Saints.
cult
classics.
Cult classics.
We're talking about
counterculture.
but we're talking about smaller markets. We're talking about smaller markets, people that are really tied to it. That
People who love it.
The people who have grabbed a hold of it and said, "Yes, this is awesome."
I mean, and you know what? You can look at any sort of out there weird niche, and you run into very similar
Pipes.
tight audiences. Pipes is a great example. I wasn't
Pipes.
thinking Pipes, but you're right.
Yeah,
So
Pipes.
Pipes. Most people think of Pipes, they think of like Sherlock Holmes or some old dude, or maybe Gandalf.
Elementary.
So I have a fairly
Mr.
successful
Baggins.
Pipe following on my other stuff that I do. I'm not going to plug it's a whole thing, but the big
I'll set you
people
up
in the
plug
niche,
it, and
the
you're like,
big
nah.
players in the niche have a few thousand.
Yeah.
Have a few thousand. But guess what? People are loyal. And
yeah.
people spend hundreds of dollars on a weekly basis, hundreds of dollars.
Yeah.
Like if I monetized an audience that I currently have, I mean, I would never have to work a day job again.
Yeah. I mean, there's ways to leverage it.
Or, I was thinking of other things that are on a much bigger scale, but way nerdier. Look at bronies. You know what a brony is?
I don't know what that is.
You know what My Little Pony is?
I think my daughter has a little
Right.
figurine.
Right.
Like
So
a pink
classic.
pony?
So classic content can be just as have that niche, that super loyal thing. There's a thing called bronies.
Oh, I
There
think
are
I've heard of
dudes.
this.
There are
Yeah.
dudes who are into My Little Ponies. I'm not judging, but they spend.
Oh, I'm judging.
Individuals will spend tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars on
Yeah.
merch and weird garbage and doing their. I'm not judging. It's a thing, but you can pick any pretzels. I guarantee you there is a niche for German
So
pretzels.
We have actually talked
Beer
to Matt
cheese.
Harmon. We've talked to Matt Harmon many times about French fries.
French fries.
Oh my Lord!
That
You-
man,
Matt, you have got to get this thing going.
dude, if he started a YouTube channel
Just in
going
French
in
fries.
deep on French fries,
So if you
You're
guys
right.
are out there,
It's
and
out there.
this is really what the podcast kind of stemmed out of, and our core goal is to encourage you all to start your business and to get you moving, get you motivated. If you need help with it, you can always reach out to us. We'll research the requirements in your state, and we'll find the way to get you moving.
dude wearing a German style hat with all of his
I do have it with all the pins and
with
stuff.
all the pins
And the feather.
from Oktoberfest and the feather because he has brand loyalty. He loves this
Yep.
place. But
Yep.
you're totally right. So here, and you know what?
I give
We
a
need
lot
to
of
double
them
down.
away.
We need to double down on the idea that right now is the time to start a business.
It
Why?
is.
The economy is going in the tank.
Yeah.
People are pulling back. People are reserving their
Yeah.
money. People are hiding
Yep.
their money. Now's
Yeah.
not the time to
Now's not
pull
the time
back.
Now's not the time to get
In the
cautious.
investment world,
Yeah.
there's something called buying the dip.
Yep.
You buy the dip.
the dip.
When the economy goes down, you buy in.
Yep.
Because when it comes back, you'll be that much further ahead
You-
than
you-
everyone else.
You will hear them talk all the time. Now, do not take financial advice from us.
We're not financial advisors. We're just a couple idiots.
Yeah.
But we've been around the block.
You'll hear people talk about bull markets and bear markets all the time, and I tend to disagree with them a lot about when it's time to invest. because
Right.
I'm not looking to catch the wave mid go. I want to. Not only do I want to get in on it, I want to be part of it. So if you were to start your business now, I mean, look at 2008. We talked about this several times about what Uber, Uber Eats, and all these other food deliveries and all these services that came out of the 2008 recession, the Great Recession, and how they developed out of it. And then if we want to go back to the Great Depression and see the companies that developed out of that,
2008.
oh my Lord! Well, we're
2008.
talking about 2008. We're talking about 1945. The things that came out of that those kind of businesses that founded in them, and then they didn't ride a wave; they were the wave.
Right. Now look,
Don't ride the wave; be the wave.
there are
Be
actual
the wave.
financial
Let's make a
advisors. There are actual people who know what they're talking about. Who
Yeah.
say within a matter of not years but months, the dollar could be in big trouble, which could put the country in big trouble.
I'm going to give that one days.
I'm not getting political.
We can't comment.
I'm just saying I have heard other people talk about it. That's all I'm going to say on that. But here's the thing. You buy low and sell high. Right now is the time to invest. Right now is the time to build brand equity. If you've ever wanted, I promise you, I think I said this on our first episode. Everybody out there, I promise you, right there watching this show, have an idea for a business.
What about that guy there in the weird hat?
That dude's got an idea for a business.
Hell yeah, brother.
That lady over there has an idea for a business. That guy waiting busting the table over here has an idea for a business. Now is the time. David, when was the best time to plant a tree?
30 years ago.
When was the second best time to plant a tree?
Now.
The best time to plant a tree was 30 years ago. The second best time is right now. There's never been a better time. Because here's the thing. When shit is getting bad, you buy low, you sell high.
Yeah. Don't ride the wave, be the wave.
You don't buy gold when it's at an all-time high.
Yeah, you don't buy gold at $1,400.
I'm sorry, Gold
now.
Line. You're never going to be our sponsor at this point.
Yeah.
You don't buy gold when it's
Gold
at an all-time
Line.
high.
Gold Line will wait. Stop, Dave.
Let's not. My point is, here the stop
Oh, we
this
got to
sign.
stop the sign.
Yes.
Okay, here we go. Let's
Yes, thank you.
we'll move the beer cheese up, and there we go.
Put this right here.
Okay, let's put it back. That way it'll serve better in the camera. Oh no, it's fine right there.
Yeah.
There we go.
We're good.
There you go.
So you're talking about the Stomp Dish sign.
There's our Stomp Dish sign. This is one of them. We have two of them that we leave here, and then there's another Stomp Dish group here as well.
Yeah. So, but this leads into brand equity. It gives that feeling of being part of something bigger, something special, something different.
And back to where we were, of riding the wave versus being the wave. Not even riding the word versus being the wave. It's you can ride the wave. You can invest. You can say, hey, I've got a friend who's doing X. Okay, you know what? I'm going on a tangent.
Be careful.
It's not a crazy tangent. It's a real tangent. It's a good tangent. Do you have a friend who sells makeup? Do you have a friend who wraps cars?
We do.
You have a friend. We do. We have a friend who does makeup.
We do.
We have a friend who wraps cars. We have a friend who makes pet urine destroyers.
We do.
We have a friend who does photography, Matt Harmon.
Little Red Hen Photography.
Harmon,
Look it up.
Matt
It's good
Harmon
stuff.
and Little Head Photography is doing my son's senior pictures this Friday.
He does great work.
I'll tell you, he's one of the best damn photographers I've ever seen.
Yeah.
The way he's able to lay stuff out and capture it is just amazing. He sees things and is able to visualize it. And then once you see the results, you're like, oh, well, yeah.
He needs to work on brand equity a little bit.
He does need to work on brand equity. He needs to
I'll
work a
stop
lot
there.
on brand equity, and we can help him with that at some point. But the bottom line, what were we talking about? Anyway, we have all of these people. So if I had a friend that lived near me and delivered food, I would never use, or did something where my customers and things are, and I could get them to do it, I would never use anybody else. I always want to use people I know and that I trust. Why? Those people will go above and beyond for the customers that I'm trying to reach and make an impact with every single time.
And that's brand equity. Because here's the thing. When you recognize a brand out there, you believe automatically, because you understand it, you recognize their name in your head, you believe they're going to take better care of you. They're going to produce a better product. they're going to have better customer care because you've seen their name before.
Yeah.
They must be bigger and better than the competition you've never heard of before, right?
Yeah.
That may not be the case at all, but the brand equity, your understanding of the brand, your perception of the brand, that they probably spent years building up, played into that.
Yeah.
So it takes time.
So it's here. It's here. So we talk about we got the Steinmasters membership. So do I go? What happened? What happened today when we walked in? What was up here on the stage?
Oh, on the stage. So the table, first of all, was already laid out for us. But your Stein was sitting there waiting for you before
My
you ever
Stein.
got here.
My Stein. So my Stein.
Mine was still back in my locker. They
Yeah.
couldn't get to it. But your
My-
Stein was right here.
Yeah, my Stein doesn't. This is how much loyalty that I have to this place, and this is how much loyalty they show me back. My Stein doesn't even get locked up anymore.
Yeah.
My Stein goes in the back with the management and owners, their stuff, and when I come in and they know I'm coming, it is ready for me.
Right.
And if they didn't have the Golden Fest beer, my Stein probably would have had beer in it.
Probably would have.
And I will pay a premium for that.
Yeah, totally. Dan McLeod says, make them feel like family.
McDonald, he's not Dan
McLeod.
McLeod.
He's not the Highlander.
a freaking Highlander over
There's look, I love the
There can
Highlander.
only be
but
one.
there's not only one. Make them feel like family leads to loyalty. He's
Yeah.
100% correct.
Absolutely. So I walk in here, and it's crazy. I
And
walk in here.
Yeah.
If I walk in here, nobody knows I'm here. I'm coming in town, which I've done to them a couple times. I walk in, and the people I've never met, I'll walk up to the hostess, which I don't typically stop at because it's me. I usually walk over and say hi to somebody I know, or go talk to the management or something along those lines. But I'll walk in and it's like, hey, David Leffingwell, and then one of them will stay there and talk with me, and the other one will run around and say, hey, Leffingwell's here, Leffingwell's here, Leffingwell's here. And how do I know that? Because there's 5 or 10 people in the back of the house that'll come out and say hi.
Right.
Like, hey, so-and-so said you were here.
Right. And that's the funny thing. Yeah, you are a good tipper, but it goes beyond that.
It
Like,
is.
they do it because that's what they do at places like this. Like Dan McDonald, not McLeod, like Dan McDonald said. They make you feel like family. And you actually see brands talking about family. You're part of the family. You feel like part of the family.
Bob Evans was a huge part of Bob Evans' branding.
Absolutely. Because they're
When
building
you hear
that in.
your family.
Just by saying the words, you're welcome here. You're part of the family.
Yep,
Family,
when you hear your
family. It plays right into it. That they're building brand equity just by using certain words.
Yeah. Yeah, and it does connect, especially in a day and age where connections are different. Wow, I tried to blend those two words together. Connecting is different. Connections are different. So when we find a place that will bring it and make us feel home and make us feel, for lack of better words, safe. I literally broadcasting from their stage right now.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Absolutely.
I mean, I know Justin over there, he just bought a Corvette. I'm a huge Corvette fan. And Justin bought a Corvette. I can't wait to go out and take a ride in his vet.
Yeah.
Dennis, huge baseball fan. Dennis Veritek, he's got a cousin, I think, or something along those lines that used to play for Boston.
You know them. You remember them because they know you and remember you.
Yeah. So, I mean, and we got Zoe over here. We've got Zoe is a former Disney princess.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
I can tell you about her college major, but I don't feel it's appropriate for me to do so. Dominic, I could talk to him. I could tell you about things with, he was dating this one girl and she had all these. I mean, literally, I talk and know these people.
On the alternative, look, I don't remember any of their names, and I feel terrible about
You
it.
just ride my coattails.
But no, every time I walk in, they all know me, and I
Oh, yeah.
feel bad about it. Like they're like, "Hey Wes, how's it going?" I'm like, "Hey man,
Hey,
hey you, hey chief,
finger gun.
hey buddy,
Chief.
hey guy."
Hey, guy, yeah.
But they know me
Yeah.
because that's what they do here.
That's literally what they do. It is amazing.
Brand. That's building brand.
Dom right
It's
there.
building brand equity. It's building that connection to your customers.
Yeah. It is, and that's what you need to do, and that should be the goal. Because, as I said earlier, the one thing that all of us are after, every business on the face of the planet should be after, and if they're not, they're a failing business, is after one thing. What was that one thing I said? Take another drink and give it a try. Un momento, por favor, señores and señoritas.
Beer.
No, in fact,
Paris
it was
Hilton.
not beer. What were we talking about? You said Paris Hilton. I was starting thinking about the South Park episode. Market share.
Market share.
Market
I meant
share.
to say that.
Paris Hilton market share, essentially the same.
She's
thing.
got the market share on. I won't go there.
And we're moving on. So, no, every business should be out for the market share. And that's really what you want to base your success upon. Statement of cash flows lets you know whether you're going to stay in business or not. Really, the most important report you're going to run is your statement of cash flows. Quarter of business
Well,
reports.
now we're getting nerdy. If we're talking about
and
cash
then-
flows
yeah,
and
see,
statements of cash
the
flow.
statements of cash flow.
That's a completely different show.
It is, but those are the things that you need to know, and those are very, very important. Statement of cash flow, I think, is one of the most important reports you're going to have.
Yeah.
But in revenue and margin, and all these things are great, but none of that to me matters if you don't have market share. If you're not growing in market share, if you're not growing,
So what's one of the main tools you need to grow in market share, David?
if you're not growing, you're dying. I literally set it up there, and you were like,
If you're not growing, you're dying. But what is
You're
one
not
of the main tools you need
Brand
to grow market
equity.
share? Brand equity.
Brand equity. And
It all
it's-
ties
it's-
back.
It really
It
does.
actually does.
It really
It
does.
sounds like we're making this up as we go, but it actually kind of ties back.
It does. We actually have bullet points here to take us through it. We do have it. It's not on the screen right now. I'm still looking at
But bullet
Munich.
points exist.
I'm still looking
They're
at
a
Munich
thing.
Opera House over here. Let's go back. Oh, there it is.
There you go.
Brand perception. Brand perception and all these other things play into your brand equity. How much are you bringing to the table with your name? Let's say we have the Underdog Plus making dog treats. One of the things that's helping out with the brand equity for that is the charitable attribute of the product.
Right. So you will see brands doing things like donating to charity as part of their core mission. Right. You'll see
Ronald McDonald House.
Right. You'll see certain brands taking on what we'll call extracurricular activities as part
That's
of
a
their
great way to say
brand
that.
mission. Huh?
That's a great way to say that.
But right.
Extracurricular activity. I
As
like it.
part of their brand
Yeah.
mission. What that does is it helps to build that vision, that perception of the brand.
That is
brand
marketing
equity.
dollars that are available in some cases to take as a tax write-off.
Right, and you
Gee,
can do
I
that.
wonder if
And
they
you can do
thought of
that.
that.
So look, certain brands will donate a large portion of their profits to certain charities, and they will then write those off. Look,
Yes.
sometimes they can, sometimes they can't. It's a whole thing, but it builds brand.
Yeah.
They'll use tactics. We'll call it a tactic. They'll use tactics to build brand equity. The point is how your customers feel about you, what they think about you, over time can build brand equity. And look, we didn't even talk about this. It can go brand equity in a good way, or it can go brand equity in a very bad way. We didn't even talk about that.
Yeah.
And that's a whole different show.
So in our points here, which we brought out of one of our older shows, there is a whole
Devin
other
Ross,
section.
did you lose audio, by the way? Devin Ross says, is it me or did we lose audio?
Check,
Devin Ross,
check.
did you lose audio?
Pickles.
Check.
Pickles.
Check. Beer. Brand
Beer.
equity. 001100111100.
Now let's do that in ASCII.
Chat GPT.
Hexadecimal.
I think we're good. Dan McDonald says, I hear you. All right, we're good.
Wait.
That's Morse code. You're the Morse code. Morse code's not binary. Come on,
No, it's
man.
not. It's not. So. All right.
You can lose your
I'm
ham
not gonna-
license.
I'm not
Is what's
gonna-
going to happen.
I do not have a ham license. I am not that nerdy. I've thought about. Actually, I do have an FCC license, but it's not for me.
It's
45676.25.
my friend has
My
this
friend.
thing
I got a
that
friend
I don't know.
who needs. I got a friend who needs an FCC license.
I know this guy who has an FCC license, who he's kind of nerdy, and now he feels really bad about himself.
Yes, indeed.
All right.
All right, man. We've made it
I don't
to
know where we're
8:30.
going with that, but we've been going for a while.
It's been going for a while. I've got about 2 liters of beer sitting in my bladder right now that's saying, "Hey, bro, it's time it's time for us to move on."
Bro,
So
time to go.
that's what it says. So we've got another thing. We're gonna keep it going on here. Brand equity and kind of the idea behind it, and really the if you're going to take away anything, is protect your brand equity. Protect it. Make sure you're
Protect
not
it.
doing something that's going to alienate that 80-20. You don't want to do that.
Especially in today's world, as hard as it is, unless your business is politics, keep your business out of politics. That's it. That's it.
That's it. Stay away.
That's it.
Get out of it. Stay out of it. Stay away from it. It's really not hard to deduce which side we fall on. But guess what? We're not going to take sides on anything because we're not here for that. We're here to encourage you to launch your business. I happen to know that one of our viewers tonight could have a side business that could bring him 6 figures by itself.
Oh, yeah. If it is who I think you're talking about, like his business,
Yeah.
we got to get him on the show.
It rhymes with nad.
I'm not
Wait,
gonna.
no, it's the inverse of nad.
It rhymes with testicles.
And I've been Dave.
He's been West, and
No, you're West.
I've been West. He's been David. I always get confused. And
It happens 2 liters in.
we'll talk to you next week.
We'll see you guys next week.
Basically infatuated with the in-between, the ups and downs, the curves and the rounds. I bring it to your city or your hometown. I go back in time when the feeling was fine, when funkin' was legal and it wasn't a crime. Party people lined up and down the way, a bigger celebration than your birthday. Funkin' up the neighborhood, I felt the fool 'cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood. The neighborhood, I felt the food 'cause the funk was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood. cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood. Funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt fool cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood. Funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt fool cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin'